It's Friday, August 18th, 2023. I'm Steven Sersky. Thank you very much for joining me. And this is episode number 40 of my podcast. And today I have another guest with me, Aigul Nurbulatova, a Kazakhstani-based, born and raised director of photography. She's worked on shorts, documentaries, and features both in Kazakhstan and outside. She joins me today out of a busy schedule. She's just returned from the Cannes Film Festival a couple months ago. But her film In Flames, shot with director Zarrar Khan, is making the film circuit journey right now. So it appeared in Cannes and it will appear at the Toronto International Film Festival later on this year. She has been involved in the film industry for a decade, 10, 15 years already. So we talk a little bit about some of the things that have changed, what got her interested in the film industry as well, and some of the things that she sees happening going forward in the industry, not just for herself, not just for the industry, but also for herself as well. Finally, I sort of cap off the podcast or the interview with some questions about her own language learning experiences. As you know, I am involved in the ESL industry, but it's always interesting to hear how people sort of respond and are able to learn second and third languages in some cases. And finally, also what it's like to be in Kazakhstan. Is it a place worth visiting? And if you do go visit, what would you do? So again, this is episode number 40 with Aigul Nurbulatova. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's get to it. There we go. All right. So here we are with episode 40, and I have to get your name correct because I was practicing it on my own. Aigul Nurbulatova. Is that correct?
It sounds more like Aigul.
Okay.
More soft. Aigul Nurbulatova.
Aigul Nurbulatova.
Aigul Nurbulatova. Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome, Kazakhstani cinematographer, or how do you classify your trade?
It's cinematographer or director of photography. Kind of.
Right on. All right. And you are in, we were just talking, and you are based in Kazakhstan. So you're based in Almaty or Astana? Which city are you, so your operations out of?
In Almaty. I live here until my childhood. Spent all my life here, actually. Live here, work here for now. And sometimes some international shooting.
Doesn't sound like sometimes, because the credits that you have so far are taking you around the world. I mean, your movies have played around. You just got back from Cannes Film Festival, didn't you? A month or 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was in May. Our film goes to Director's Fortnight section. And we was in one competition with Michel Gondry, and it was like, wow, I can be with all that people so close. I can see them in person, and yeah, it was like really a core memory, I guess, for my life.
How long were you in Cannes? Were you just in Cannes, or did you go elsewhere in France?
Yeah, only in Cannes, and. No, when I go to France, I first should. There's no direct flight to France here, so I should go through Istanbul and to Paris, and from Paris to Nice, and from Nice I should go by taxi to Cannes. So it takes time to get there, and I spent there 2 weeks,
right,
from the beginning of the festival until the end.
How long did it take you to get there? How many days? Was it 1 or 2 days?
It was like one long day, actually.
Yeah, well, I just made a trek from Beijing to Canada to my hometown in Canada, and it took 26 hours, 30 hours total. Just insane. So
no.
I can't complain, because that's what you're doing, and you were on a job, you were on a mission basically. But that's pretty neat that you were in Cannes. It's one of these world renowned festivals. What was it like to be there, to be at one of the premier film festivals in the world?
Actually, it was my second time. First time we was in 2018 with Olga, with her film Bad Winter, and we was in a program called ACID. It's like a association of, actually I don't remember, So this program take place. It's like parallel program on this festival, and this time we go to like it was level up, like next level, next section, and this time it was like this party. Like I kind of own this party because like all this party about our film and something, and because when we was there last time, it was hard because it feels like I'm not invited. Like it's a big party happening here, and I feel like I was a student, I was broke, and I didn't have money, and I didn't have I can't afford to live in the center of all this film party. I stay in Nice, and it takes like 1 hour by bus every day. And buses, they, how to say? Sorry for my English. It's sometimes hard to explain what I want to say. And when they go back, like bus stop to do their work like at 9, and all the parties happening like in 12 or
until
something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
you have to
like,
catch the last bus, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you should like party all night because you can go like home in the morning. So every time it was a difficult choice. Like, what should we do? And maybe you sleep like on the beach and wait for the morning bus. And this time it was like more fancier. Like I stayed like in the center, like 5 minutes to Cinema Palace, and I was like more experienced than last time. I can book all the tickets for with stars to see like many famous people, and this time I was like prepared, and this time I was more adult maybe, because that time I was 24 and now I'm 30.
So you brought a tent with you to sleep on the beach this time instead of last time no tent.
This time I rent an apartment.
Oh, okay.
A really nice apartment in the center, right. And with all go restaurants and all that stuff. This time I was prepared.
Who were the famous people? You can name drop. I mean, who were the famous people that you saw? Did you take pictures? Did you get signatures and stuff like that?
I never get a signature because I'm a little bit shy, and people there, they're like really true fans. They're like sleeping in a line for because they want to be first who can like ask a signature or something. And I was just like, oh, okay, guys, you're more fun than me, so I can just stay here and like just watch on my favorite directors. Like I saw Takeshi Kitano there, like he was really close, and I just like, oh, Takeshi. Like all my friends, they're so big fans of Takeshi Kitano, and I take million photos and videos of him. And Michel Gondry, Wes Anderson, Tarantino.
You saw Tarantino?
No, not in person. We was on one party and we never met, but I know he was there. Like I see his stories, and he was super close, but kinda not really saw him. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I mean, so what happens at this? I've never been. I mean, you've talked about these parties. Like, is it? I guess there's sort of the film industry has a reputation that you're supposed to go to these parties, you're supposed to drink, you're supposed to network at these. Like, do you have to do that to meet the movers and the shakers, or can you not do that?
You can actually not do that, but it will be kind of boring because film festivals feels for me it's like a celebration of your job, I guess, because all the time when we're on shooting we should wear like we look like homeless people, like every time you just sleep on the ground, like walking with a coffee cup and look really weird. So it's a time when you can like look nice, do hair and makeup, and like wear a nice dress or something, and like chatting with other people, drinking, partying, and yeah, it's kind of celebration. And sometimes like in the morning or in a noon you have some meetings with, like this time I met with my agent. Now I'm working with agency, and we met first time in Cannes. They invite me like in one cafe. You have some meeting here, some meeting with Olga's new producer. We're doing like she starting next feature, and I will be cinematographer there. And her producer meet with me there, and we like discuss this project. And he told me about my film, like how did he like it, like some questions about shots and like this, like 50% it's work and 50% party.
Wow. Okay. So, when you meet these famous people, like even like Wes Anderson or Tarantino, do you ever see them in line to go see another movie? Like, is that like, do they have to be of the people as well, or do they get special entrance to these movies? They don't have to wait for tickets.
Yeah, they don't need to wait like nothing. They're like big truck and many super fancy BMW, because BMW is one of sponsors of Cannes Film Festival, and they're like 1 million BMW everywhere, and 20th BMW comes to this red carpet and 1 million cameras around, and journalists, photographers everywhere, and they walk and you can see translation on a big screen everywhere, and they go and they have like special places in cinema, like more like places where from where you can see the movie like in the right way, like in the center you can hear all the sound, like it's a perfect place, and always there's places for film crew and those stars and for them those friends also.
Right. So what would you say was your sort of your favorite portion, your favorite part of being at Cannes?
My favorite part.
I mean, it's 2 weeks. That's a long time to be around filmmakers and drinking and sleeping on the beach or in an apartment and stuff.
I don't know. It's all the days were so different. I guess more like more memorable day was day of premiere, because all this day was really planned, and day before I should, like, I was a little bit late with my visa process, so I missed first part, like the beginning of opening party of the Cannes.
Oh,
and
no.
I came just like same day with the premiere, and it was like super rushed, like sleep a little bit and like wash my hair, dress up and run. And it was really nervous, but it was nice in one like at once. I don't know, mixed feelings.
Right. And so you were there for a film premiere because you're working with Olga Koratka, who we talked about. Like, this is how we met, actually. She sent me your contact, said you should have her on your podcast. She sent me another girl as well before, not a film related person. So you two have worked together and you had a debut movie or the movie premiered at Cannes, right? Or did it premiere somewhere? Yeah. Okay, and was this was in Fire or what was the movie called?
In
again?
Flames. In Flames. With Olga, we did Bad Winter. It was in 2018.
That was 2018.
And this time
okay.
I was with Pakistani Canadian director. This time in Flames, it's actually Canadian film.
Right. And so this was a premiere as well at Cannes with the In Flames?
Yes.
So you've had two premieres at Cannes.
Yeah,
and
it was my second premiere. As
far as I can tell, you are an award-winning cinematographer because it said 2019 winner for Best Cinematography at Queen's World Film Festival, which screened at in Cannes as well. So that you have won awards for your work as well. Did you take home anything from Cannes this year or any other festivals yet?
No. Like when it was debut film, so they have like really big sorry, I forget this word. Like there are many films, like kind of 30 films, and only one award which they can have.
Yeah.
Like all the films, like first films of directors. So it was really big competition, 30 films for one award. So no, we didn't have nothing, but me and director, we now have agents after this, because they find us on this festival, and now we're working together, and we have communication with like other festivals, and now we have Toronto, and like it's mostly like kind of premiere is it's a start. It's like sorry, it's like a picture on a book. Like
it's your portfolio. It's like a calling card of sorts.
Sorry, my English.
But these are feature film portfolios that you're creating. I mean, as when I was growing up in Winnipeg, I mean, it was sort of like the elusive goal was to make a feature film, but you're just making them every year. So, congratulations, kudos to you for being able to do it. So when you're saying that these agents are talking to you, I mean, pardon me, but I come from the ESL world, English teaching world. No one is arranging meetings to give me a job. You're getting meetings to go direct, to be a cinematographer, director of cinematography. How does it work? Like, what do you sort of do for these meetings, and what are they saying to attract you to this job and maybe not that job?
Actually, we just started working with them. So for now, they just I already booked till December. So I asked just to find something for me like in next year. And they already have some projects they send me. And now I'm thinking like one in Nigeria, one in Greece, or it's like only beginning, and I don't know which one I will pick, but now I have 2 options.
That's pretty neat. So, before you said that you're off to Turkey, I guess, in a couple of weeks, and so you're going to miss Toronto International. Whatever, fine, but you're going to be in Turkey. Is that the one? Is that the movie that's going to shoot until December, or how does that work?
Until December, I have 2 features actually.
Oh, wow.
One it's a Kazakhstan-Turkish co-production. It's a story about one Kazakh guy who became homeless in Istanbul. Like he goes there to do something for his business, to buy some goods, and he wanted to sell it in Kazakhstan. Like it was a story about 19th, and he stayed there and became homeless, and he meet like a girl who like how to say it, like former prostitute or something.
Former
and
prostitute,
yep. Yeah, I don't remember this word. And and it's a story about like 2 souls, like 2 lost souls. They both in a foreign country for them. Like she's from Ukraine and he's from Kazakhstan, and they both stuck in Istanbul. So yeah, and we'll finish this project in October, and like I will have rest for a couple of days maybe, and we start shooting next one with Olga. It's her second feature.
And that's going to be back in Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan co-production. Yeah, it will be in Kazakhstan, but it's French-Kazakh co-production, but shooting in Kazakhstan.
How is the Kazakh film industry? Is it a good price to go there to shoot films? Because, I mean, it looks like you, Olga, you're busy, and sounds like you've got lots of work to choose from.
I'm busy only because I have international projects. Because here now it's really complicated situation with the national budgets for films. We always have the government every year. Government gives some money, and we have like 80 projects. Like some of them features, some of them shorts. and every year they change the date when they want to give those money.
Oh no.
This is a big mess, and they change the rules every year, like who can apply, who can give those money. And it became like kind of Hunger Games or something. You just running and killing everyone, and maybe in the end you can die. I don't know.
So you have to kill people in film. It's real life filmmaking. There you go.
Kind of this, and yeah, it's actually super hard. Like every year, I guess a couple of years I have I am really busy. I have many projects, but 5 years after university, it was like surviving.
Right.
Mostly.
Before you referenced your age, you don't have to say it again. So you've been out of university for a while. Did you study filmmaking at university, and where did you study?
Yeah, I at first I studied in art academy, like fine arts, and I don't know, academic arts.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Was it like a master of fine arts or something?
You do like part. Yes, yes. And after this, I wanted to go to Los Angeles, actually, for not Los Angeles, to San Francisco, to study in one animation school.
Okay.
I really want to do animation, like in that age, and I missed this opportunity for some reasons, and I just like, what can I do here? Like in Kazakhstan, I checked our university, animation university, and it was they have nothing actually. It's like puppet animation, or
okay, yeah.
And I imagine like we'll do like 3D graphics and something, and there was like nothing. They don't have computers there, and I just like, oh, okay, no, I can't study animation in my city. So
I lost you.
checked the film more, but when I was student, it was easy. And don't have equipment. They just.
Sorry, you cut out there. I lost you after you couldn't. You said that you couldn't study in your hometown, and so they only had puppets and they had no computers.
Yeah.
But I missed what happened after that. So you want to get into animation in your early 20s, I guess it was. You were going to go to San Francisco. So what happened instead? Instead of going to San Francisco, you stayed in Kazakhstan, or what happened?
Yeah, I stayed. It was like some personal reasons, and I missed opportunity to go there. So I stay here and just choose one of two film schools that we have in that time. And it was just like easy way. I just checked both of them, and they both was kind of offer because they don't have equipment, they don't have like cameras, lights. I don't know, like what can they teach? How can they teach cinematographers
if they don't have a camera? It's tough. And that was already 15 years ago, where cell phones didn't have the same camera technology that they do now. So that'd be a bit difficult. Did you learn how to shoot on film, or did you learn how to shoot digital first?
Actually, I guess digital was first, but in my childhood, both of my parents, the hobby was film photography.
Oh wow!
And we have some cameras at home, and like father teach me about like aperture and some stuff about camera. So I used to take photos like in my childhood on a film camera, but when new DSLR cameras showed up, father always bought
Film
digital
stock.
cameras.
Digital camera.
Yeah,
Did you? So
digital. Yeah.
When you were shooting film with your father's cameras, like was it 16 mil, 8 mil, 35 mil?
I guess 35. Those old
You're
like
talking the picture
cheap
cameras.
cameras.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, these cameras not. Yeah, they
I was
always have
thinking a
only
film
photo camera.
camera, like an actual like
Oh no,
Kodak
it
35
was it was
8 perf
it was
film.
too. It was too expensive. It was like 90s in Kazakhstan.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. So, yeah, I don't know, the digital revolution. I was sort of right at the when I was in film school. I was never in film, so I took film studies, and the department had a Bolex. They had some film 16 millimeter film cameras, like actual film, and so we could choose
Wow.
whether or not we wanted to do film or digital. And everyone was like, "Oh, we have to do film. It's the real filmmaker. It's in the name, filmmaker." And so that's where we also learn just how extraordinarily expensive it is to shoot on film and to get it processed and everything.
Yeah.
So it's bloody well horrible. Digital changed everything. Kids these days don't appreciate that, but yeah, the fact that you can shoot movies on your phone is absolutely fantastic. Your Kazakhstan only has a puppetry. You were saying they have puppets, or like without equipment, they are trying to teach film, but they don't have cameras or computers.
But it was in 2015, I guess. So now situation is different, but those times it was kind of nothing.
How much
now
different could it be?
Maybe they do have.
Well, you go to Cannes, you can donate a film, a camera. I mean, this could be the gift to your people. One day, maybe.
One day, maybe. I hope.
Yeah. So then, after what you took, I guess it was fine arts, is what you ended up studying, and then what happened after university? Because you said you kind of, I mean, it was kind of dead for a while in terms of your work and placements.
Yeah, it was hard because when I was a student, I already did some short films. I have many friends from like the director students, and we had like small community, and we're trying to like be real filmmakers. And I already have my people in those times. So I was like over experienced for that film, like not really film academy. I don't know how to call it, like for this university. And even in those times, I heard like my one of my masters told me like, why did you choose cinematography? You just came here to find a husband, maybe? And I just like, what? Why? It's so weird. Like, I'm only one student who actually trying to shoot something, and like other guys, they just like chilling there. I don't know why they choose cinematography. And I just like, why? What?
Wait a minute. So was this common practice for women to go into filmmaking to find a husband? Like, is that sort of what was going on prior, or?
I don't know. It was his fantasy. I have no idea. He was like super old boomer and sexist. So I guess he just like want to tell me like it's not for girls or something like this.
Right.
And
I wouldn't think that filmmaking is at all a career you'd go into to find a significant other. Just not an industry that strikes that sort of tone, to tell you the truth. But
I don't know, maybe he just thought like there are many men on this, like you go to tech university to like meet some guys. I don't know. It was weird. And my ex, he always told like, why did you choose like cinematography? You should choose something like more feminine job. And I just like, why, what? And I guess because of this mindset, like common here in Kazakhstan, it was hard to find job in a normal way, like in normal men's way.
Right.
First step, what you can do if you want to be director of photography and you're a guy, you can go and become a helper, best boy. Like you can uh, carry like heavy distance, I don't know, like sandbags.
You carry sandbags all day, basically.
You can do it, and like you can communicate with cinematography crew, like with all this department, and you can become friends. You can ask them, they can invite you like next time. Maybe you can like push dolly. Maybe next time you can, I don't know, help light guys and or something. And step by step, like maybe in 3 years, maybe you can be like camera operator, and next level maybe you can be director of photography. But for me, it didn't work, because every time I try to like carry sandbag, other men come and like, oh, let me help you. Don't. It's heavy.
Really?
And I just like, and I'm totally useless on set, because every time someone tried to help me, and I just like, oh, okay, what can I do? I guess I can be director of photography, because when you're DOP,
I was thinking producer, because if someone's going to do work for you and you just tell them what to do, I mean that's perfect. That's what producers do.
I actually did producing. I have feature as producer. I did production design. I did I can do sound. I can do hair, makeup. I can do everything on set, because of that hard times first 5 years. So I became, I guess I should be the director of photography. When you're director of photography, mostly what the film needs from you, it's your vision, like how, what those shots should tell about the stories, like how they can tell stories. You actually build storytelling. So I just like, okay, I can be only the head of a department, because I can't like do other jobs. Actually, I did focus
Right.
pooling. It's for girls. It's fine. Just joking. So yeah, and I started to work with other students, like beginning directors, student directors, who I find they were whom I find like they have a dream, or like they have direction, like where a vision. Yes, I just found same people as me. Like I have vision, like I want to be director of photography. It was my goal, like life goal, to be director of photography and travel the world with shooting. And now
you've done it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm done.
Check.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when I meet like other students, young people who want to do same as me, we collaborate, and we start to do like something. Sometimes not sometimes, it always was without money. So for money, I should do like something else. I did production design. I did editing. We shoot some commercial documentaries, and many stuff, like videography sometimes, directing sometimes. But my main goal was being director of photography of like features. So I did my first feature with Olga. It was like kind of without money. Like it was so.
And that was Bad Winter?
Yeah, it was Bad Winter. It was.
Wow. So your first feature goes on to win an award and gets screened at Cannes. That's a substantial accomplishment.
So yeah, I met Olga, and we have same vision. Like we want to do films, like, and I guess when we met each other, we became friends really fast. I don't know.
How did you two meet?
I guess because of this. One of my friends, director, recommend me to her, and he just called. She called me and it's like, tomorrow I have shooting, really really sad shooting about social problems, like about homeless young mothers. And she told me like, can you come tomorrow like at 10? And I just like, okay. And we come with tripod, with camera. And that's how we met.
So she was the director for that production, and you just showed up with the camera, and since then you've made 2 features together.
Yeah.
Wow. Who was the friend? Who was the friend in between? Who was that connection?
It was Arwan Anartaev, his director. We did feature with him last autumn. He is actually he's the husband of another one director. She's documentary director. So it's like big filmmakers community. So we everyone know each other. It's a big community here of filmmakers. Not actually really big. I mean opposite. It's actually really small. So every filmmaker, they just know
everyone
each other.
knows each other.
It feels big, like opposite for other cities,
right? But I mean, how many cities are you comparing this to? Because I mean, how many cities in Kazakhstan have a film community? I mean, a lot of them probably do, but your 2 big ones are Almaty and Astana, right?
3. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. In Almaty mostly, everything is happening, like all the art stuff happening in Almaty.
Right. And so I'm looking here at the credits that you have here on your website, 2018 with Aijan Kasimbakova. Okay, so that's your first one with the shorts, but it sounds like your sort of creative portfolio goes back even further than that. Are these mostly Kazakhstanis that you're working with on these productions here, or who are you working with?
I worked only with Kazakh directors till this In Flames. It was my first international project.
Right on. What happened to all the people in your class, the other students who were also looking for husbands or wives in the film academy that you were at?
Some of them married each other.
No. And they're still married?
I was... I'm not sure. I not connect with them. I know one guy. He do big camera equipment community in Telegram. Maybe you know this social network. He had a big chat with many filmmakers and mostly videographers.
Right.
You can like ask, did someone have like this camera, this lens, and you can find some professionals. I found my colorist there. So he doing something like this. I guess he has small production, maybe. That's all. Other guys, I don't know where they are.
So with your experience, since you started way back in the day, pre like very easy use of iPhones to shoot movies, what would you say are some of the things that you learned back then, like in your film school that had no cameras? What did you learn then that you see translating to these days? Like, has something sort of stayed, or has something grown over time in terms of the techniques that you're using, the shot composition, colors, choice of lenses?
I guess all the knowledge I have, I earn it on set only, like mostly on set, and from other people, like who maybe they watch more movies, they have more information maybe about it. It was mostly directors, like I learned from directors, and mostly my first university helped me. This fine arts education helped me a lot, because of I knew like everything about composition, about like rhythm, about I don't know, like colors, combinations, and all that stuff. So those this mostly helped me and my experience on set. And now it's like every time when I do one feature, it feels like I graduate again from another university every time, because I learned so much on set every time. And every time I put one goal like in my head, like last time it was like how to show the light, like regular common light in post-Soviet, this, like they only have top light, one
Yeah,
top light, and
kind of like what I
like
have here.
people,
Just one light.
people not always have like small lamps, like in the Hollywood movies. You can see like there are like ton of lamps in one room, like 7 or 8 uh, different lamps, and I just like I can't do. I can put lamps, but it will look kind of not common.
Right.
And I guess maybe because I started as a documentary cinematographer, I mostly like to find something in reality and adapt how and put it like in my shots. Maybe I can like force it a little bit. Maybe I can change it a little bit, but it should be inspired by reality for me. And every time like I put one goal for one feature, like this time I want to find out how can I like show this home yellow light but without many lamps, like how I can do this. And next time I like put like how I can show the night and it shouldn't look too bluish like Hollywood, and it shouldn't look like too dark like last season of Game of Thrones. It should be something like Kazakhstani, maybe our language, our cinema language, and I try to find this in every movie I shoot.
So how does that work together with the story of the script? So I mean, you as a director of photography come in and say, okay, I got this idea and I want to try this time. How does that go parallel? Does it ever contradict what the story is doing or what the director wants?
It always everything always based on story. Like storytelling is the first goal of all my shots. It's never about like I don't want to like shoot something beautiful every time. Like sometimes you can't do every shot like you want to put it in your show reel.
Right.
It's
Okay.
like
Stop showing
it's
off,
not
basically.
yeah, it's because you can't like if someone saying like you ask someone, did you like this film, and he answer you, yes, I like the cinematography, it means cinematography was too much. Like
Oh, I
person
see.
should
Okay.
so tell first about like story or like characters or something, not about like, oh, it was so beautiful. If they saying like it was so beautiful, that means like something was a little bit wrong.
So with that, then, if I assume you've seen The Godfather, then is The Godfather a well shot movie? Like, do you remember the shots of that movie, or is it the story that I don't know? Because I mean, I don't even know who shot that movie. I know Francis Ford Coppola directed it, but who actually operated the camera?
Yeah, because that's how it should work. Like stories first, and cinematography just help to tell the story.
So you're basically aiming to not be seen. You're aiming not to stand out in the whole production aspect of things. Do you prefer digital, or would you rather go back to the way that film was sort of made so many years ago? Do you care?
I never did film, even short or feature, nothing. But director Zarrar Khan, director of In Flames, he wanted to do next feature on film, and I just started to like learn a little bit again, like
Whole new learning
reconnect with the
process.
film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love everything new. Like today, like next week, I will shoot some shots from the plane, like open plane, and I will sit there with camera, like, and shooting the ground. And like in Turkey, I will do underwater shooting, and I love all these like challenges every time. And it's just like, yeah, I can try something new and something new. If I can't find nothing new in this project, it's not really interesting because I already did it.
Sounds pretty cool. Do you incorporate drones at all in your arsenal of photography?
I did use drones, but last time in Flames, a little bit. I like those shots that we scheduled, like what we planned, what we have in storyboards. Like if the picture needs this drone shot, it can be there. But when you use it too much, it look wrong on the big screen. I don't know why.
Because it's a drone and it's 100 feet up.
I guess not because of this. It's like too common. You see the picture from drones like every day in Instagram or somewhere, and you're used to it, and you use that it's something not important. I don't know, or it's something too easy.
It's nothing like, special anymore.
Yeah, if there is no idea, like why do you need a drone? Like you just showing off. You just like, oh, I can fly this way, and like if you have crane, you want to shoot like every shot of, like why do you need this? Like nothing. There is no action here. There's just couple sitting on a.
But we have a crane. We have a crane. We have to use the crane.
Yeah.
It's in the budget.
Should do this. Yeah.
Well, I learned actually
about drones. It's same every time with drones. You're just like, oh wow, drone. Let's shoot like everything.
So cool. It's so cool. The problem is there's two major problems with drones that I realized when I got one. One, going through airport security is a pain in the ass. Like it takes away all the fun of taking a drone with you. Second, all the shots, like the really cool shots are really up in the sky, but like the amount of footage that you will use from that shot is about 3 seconds. So think of the 6 pounds of gear you're going to take with you, the airport kerfuffle, and then how long you're actually going to use that shot. I mean, what's it worth? Do you like your workouts? I mean, enjoy carrying that drone there, buddy. Oh, brutal.
Yeah. For features, it's like that's not a problem because it's easy. You just can ask like, producers, I need drone, and there's some person with a drone, and you just doing nothing. You can just direct them, but it's sometimes some shots they just look kind of like videography. When the drone just like flying closer to something, it's like if you just be static, it will look more like cinema and less like wedding video.
Less like someone who's like, well, we have a drone, we have to use the drone.
Yeah.
What's your favorite camera to use? Since you're using digital cameras, I think you've used Arri cameras as well, or Red One cameras.
Yeah, I always my favorite is Arri Mini. I'm just in love with this camera, and now they have Arri 35, and I just tried. And the Cannes Arri party, they just bring 2 cameras and you can like upgrade them and check. but yeah, it's Arri party. So, but I never tried on set. And yeah, I guess I will fall in love in this camera. But for now, Arri Mini, it's like how a natural choice every time. Like I just Arri Mini. If you have a budget, let's have Arri Mini.
And what sort of lenses are you using for that?
I use different lenses, but now on this circuit project, I use Arri Prime actually, and sometimes Cookie. I like Cookie lenses. Leica Super Speed. It depends. Like every time, it's mostly about like what we want to show. And I can choose some.
Do you have a go-to lens that you're like, this lens will look good no matter what? We cannot screw this shot up.
Yeah, it's Cookie.
Okay.
Always clever.
What about like using iPhones or like cell phones, because I mean that's sort of the nowadays documentary running gun type of style of shoot. I mean, how many TikTok videos have been shot on an Arri or a red camera? I mean, you can count them on one hand. They're all shot on iPhones or on even less than that. Would you ever consider shooting a movie, a full length or even a short, using an iPhone or iPad or computer?
I already have one shot on iPhone 11 Pro. It's a short, and it's not bad. We just use like our. I mean, because this camera is so small and it has nice stabilization. For that movie that we have, it was like all neon and like partying in a techno club and an action, like guys fighting with each other and someone kidnapped someone's sister and iPhone was good for this because it looked like there's some guys and they just shoot what happened with them. It worked for story, so why not? If we have like not a goal, if director saying like I want to shoot this on iPhone, we will shoot it on iPhone. Like why not? We can use it and find some interesting. Like every camera have their good sides, and we can use it.
But would you ever be able to use an iPhone or even a GoPro or a drone shot alone in the movie, like on a big screen? If it got screened at Cannes, would it pass, or would you be like, yeah, that's an iPhone?
When you see someone's movie and it's complete and you can see like the premiere and you can see it on a big screen, I never thinking about like they should change this or that. Like it's
okay.
it's like finished product. It's just like it exists like this, and you're just like, oh, they do it this way. Maybe they want to say something with this, and I just like trying to find out like what did they want to say. Like maybe it means something. Maybe I just don't have enough information. I don't know.
I remember, what was it? What movie was with Tom Cruise? I think it was when the Sony Venice movie camera came out. It was like one of the first digital cameras that came out. It was a big movie. And I remember in the cinema, and this is the thing, is okay, this is why I'm not a DOP, but I was sitting there going, this thing has those digital blue artifacts throughout the whole thing. And it was like, you could tell that they were pushing I guess how low light they could go with the digital camera. But it was like one of the first major movies shot on these massive digital cameras. And it's just stuck with me that going to digital, artifacting used to be what you'd have to fight with like 15 years ago. Even 10 years ago, you had to fight artifacting quite a bit. Now it's like you're all seeing it on a cell phone anyway. You can't see too much artifacting at all. So that being the case, then you're a DOP. How do you prefer to watch a movie? Do you watch a movie on your cell phone, or does it have to be on the big screen?
I mostly watch movies on the big screen. I love like maybe not so big. Like sometimes we don't have like some movies in cinemas, or I want to watch like one of old movies. I have big TV for this, and like from my phone I can maybe rewatch something if I want to remember, or if I don't know, like somewhere in airplane maybe. But mostly, yeah, I prefer to watch it on a big screen
with the big sound as well.
Yeah, but not so professional sound. It's just like normal sound from TV.
As a DOP, do you really care about sound as much? For me, like if sound is no good, like the video, you can have a grainy TikTok video or a grainy Instagram video, but the sound, if it's all on garbage, it's like that you don't. I guess the whole the trend now is you have to put subtitle or captions in your videos so people can watch your video without sound, because no one wants to hear your bad sound anymore. So. Does sound matter at all for you, or that's not your department? You don't even care?
Sound means everything, actually. I always in good relationship with sound guys on set, and like we're always like shooting something, and I hear something wrong. I just look at them, and they look at me, and I just like, okay, stop, guys, focus was off, and because they always like they're too grumpy, and all the directors like, why sound guys always so evil? Why so grumpy? Why you can just like record? Why you every time like sending someone to stop this screaming children or something? And I just sometimes I just happy to help them, and I just like, oh, focus was off. And when you say focus, oh, okay, everyone, they just like, no problem, yeah, we can do one more take. And every time when some guys asking for the same, they just like, why everything was okay. So now
Well,
that's really really important. It's like you can have super blurry weird, I don't know, shot of piece of paper on the whole screen, but if you can't hear like all the small sounds like of, I don't know, of smallest actions that happening, it's
that
not
means
working.
nothing.
Like
Yeah.
it's nothing. It never can be the goal, like to do bad sound. Sometimes it can be you can want to have like bad picture because of some reason, like maybe they find the camera on the floor and it's like super old by story, but sound, it should always be perfect, and no one never like can actually find out that theirs was so good sound, because it's same with cinematography. If you never have if you didn't find something about sound, and if you can't say something, that means everything was okay.
Right.
Sorry.
The I guess the class the premier example of that would be like the Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity, the first one, not number 7, the first one. That like a lot of those were shot very realistic documentary style, but I mean the sound was gorgeous for a bunch of kids with video cameras in the forest. Boy, they got just crystal clear, great sound. Wow, how much of a documentary can that be? But speaking of which, so you do you've done shorts, documentary, and features. I haven't seen your films. I've only seen the trailers. Your movies, as far as I know, I couldn't. I checked in all the depths of the internet. Couldn't find them. But your trailers are on. I think they're on Vimeo, but they're also on YouTube as well, so people can take a look at that as well. Documentary, feature. What's the difference? What do you prefer? Do you prefer being out in the sticks with the mosquitoes, or on a nice, well-lit studio set with an apartment waiting for you?
Actually, I prefer both. I love documentary, and I miss it sometimes. Like last time I was in Pakistan while we shoot In Flames. It was one part when we should have like some documentary shots of children playing, like birds flying, the city living its life, and I just like started to doing it, and I feel this, like you're like hunting, like you're trying to find something, and you just you have it, and you just like, yeah, because it's only with you and the environment. Like the director can just stand there, and maybe he looked in other side, and I just like, oh, I see something, and I can shoot it, and it feels it's really like a sport or hunting. You just like finding something, and it's different feeling from like in feature you build something like from the beginning. You build it and build, and when everything is set, you're just like, wow, what a nice set we did. And in the documentary, just like catching every time. I love both.
Documentary is like, okay, well, we have 40 hours of footage and we're going to use 3 minutes of it. Whereas a feature film, feature film, like, what's your shooting ratio for your feature films then? Like, do you, if industry standard still 5:1, 5 shooting minutes to 1 finished minute, or how does it work now?
Actually, I don't know.
Do you even? It's digital. It doesn't matter.
No, it's not because it's digital. It's just like some people do all schedule for me, and I just I just do shooting.
That must be nice. That's pretty neat, though.
Yeah, that's why maybe I love features, because like everything is planned for you, and you have like all these comfortable. I don't know. You have car, you have apartment, you have like lunch and everything. I mean, documentary sometimes like looks like surviving, but it's again up to budget. Like
Right.
last documentaries was it was really one of my last documentaries. It was really complicated to shoot, because it was part of those was kind of illegal in Kazakhstan, and some people was connected with these, and they were kind of in danger, and I was arrested a couple of times, and the director was arrested, and because it was kind of
you say that so
protest,
casually. Like, what do you mean you got arrested? What?
I'm actually a political activist, so I've been arrested some times.
Okay. All right.
Because of process. So yeah, it's kind of regular thing now.
All right, and I'm going to publish this, and people in China are going to hear it. That's great. Okay, well, good to know. Thank you. So, what would a bad day be then? I mean, because you're out there, you get your call sheet, your rap sheet, whatever, and you're looking at it, going, okay, I got to do this. What would make that bad for you?
I guess only maybe some health issues.
Oh, so if you're not feeling well.
Yeah, and it happened once, like in Pakistan, when I get poisoned with, I don't know why, I don't know what, maybe water, and it was really hard to concentrate because it was really hot, and I mostly like prefer cold, and there was like 50 or 40 degrees, and it was like I'm melting, and I feel super bad, and stomachache and everything. And I was so happy that that day we have a lot of drone shots, and I can just like you do your thing, and I will lay in here. Please wake me up when you finish. So like this, and maybe sometimes it's more up to schedule. Sometimes you can see something scheduled wrong, but it's always time management problem. Like if they have not really professional people who do schedule, sometimes it's often if they didn't discuss it with me, and like with if it's not prepared enough, sometimes it feels wrong. But I can, like, maybe because I came from documentary, I can like change plans if something not working. I have like plan A, plan B, plan C. Like I have all the letters. We can always find a solution. So I'm kind of flexible director of photography.
If one shot doesn't work, like for whatever reason, sounds no good, there's an airplane that just won't go, your cracked lens. Are you saying that like when you have one shot lined up, you might have 3 or 4 other ideas in case that one doesn't work?
Yeah.
And how do you sort of keep that all in your head? You're like a 360 camera going on, basically.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you for ADHD. I don't know. I have really many. Like it feels like I have maybe 40 computers in my head, and they all open like in one browser, like many links and everything working in one time. Like, did you watch this
I haven't seen it everywhere yet, but yeah, I've heard a lot about it though. Is that by the Chinese director, or who was it? I can't remember.
I guess he's American, but he has Chinese roots, or I don't
ancestry,
know, he sure. Asian, but he's American.
Never saw it. Not yet, anyway.
So if you will, so it feels like my mind.
Like okay. Well, hopefully other people get that, because I don't know. I haven't seen it, so but it's fascinating that you're able to like if something doesn't work out, that you'd be able to transition very quickly to another shot. Has there ever been a time, either like during the shooting day or in the final product, where you're like, I wish I could do that again?
Yes, it's always happening. Like
Oh, geez.
every time when I watch my movie, and I just like, I should do this, but I should change this and this. But it's always like, maybe in the beginning it was 3 or 4 sequences, maybe. Next feature it was 1 or 2 sequences. Next feature it was like couple of shots, and now it's mostly like some shots, and I just like, they should choose another one. Like in this shot, something was off about camera, but they choosing because of actors, not because of camera. So
Right.
sometimes I'm just like, okay.
Well, and that's where you sort of like your craft ends. Basically, it's like if the emotions, if the actors hit the emotions or they hit the line, you got to use the one that sort of helps the best rather than the one that looks pretty, sort of thing.
Yeah, because we're doing this for story and not for my show reel.
Right. Have you ever thought about doing any directing on your own, or are you content being a DOP?
I did directing some commercial stuff. I can direct. Actually, I know like some parts of this, but I really bad in understanding, do people acting well or not? I don't know. So some emotions,
and that's important.
Yeah, for director it's really important. I guess this can be my problem, and I don't really want to be like famous as director or like actor when people can recognize like your face and like they communicating with you like a lot. I'm mostly introvert, and I prefer super introvert job, like you communicating only with director and your crew, and all other people can ask their questions for other many like set professional and not me.
Right. Do you know many, like, because the way that you're describing the Kazakhstan film community when you were younger in university is that like it was a so small community that was everyone doing everything? Were there a lot of people who want to be both a director and a camera operator, or was it like a fine line, like a split? Did people just choose one and not the other?
Many directors, maybe many cinematographers actually saw this dynamic as like you like operating camera, then you director of photography, and next you're director. I don't know why it's kind of similar like with actors, like actors, they doing like small roles and they have main roles, and next they want to be directors. So many of cinematographers, they like their next step is directing, but I don't know, for now I don't want to, and I guess it's mostly about movies. I guess I can be maybe when I will be 50, I don't know. I want to try animation again, maybe director of animation, but it's just like one of my maybe dreams, like childhood dreams.
All right. Are you talking like
Maybe
actual stop motion, claymation, or cell by cell painting, drawing sort of thing?
No, it's actually really, really simple. It's like, do you know maybe Disney?
Disney? Who's
TV
that?
series?
Never.
It's like no, I mean like Disney animation series, not like features, not like Pixar features, like Elemental, not so big. It's mostly like Steven Universe, like Old House, maybe this like Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, something cute and small, but really important for big community. I don't know. I want to try. Or Jendy Tartakovsky, I'm really big fan of him, who did Samurai Jack and Primal. I'm really big fan of animation.
Okay, all right. What are the ones that I know of? Who are the brothers? Who's it? There's two brothers that used to do a lot of animation with found stuff around their apartments. It was all stop motion and stuff like that. Oh, I can't. The animation team, the brothers Quay, Quay, and the series that I'm talking about is The Cabinet of Jan Svankmajer. And Jan Svankmajer was a fantastic animator back in the day. So that the brothers Quay made make these animations with found stuff around their apartments and stuff like that. Wow. All stop motion. So that was like stuff that I was like, that'd be so cool to get into. It's super hard, very difficult, time consuming, and by no means conducive to a normal, regular life. But if you're in the film industry, what is a normal life anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so if you did get into you're not into animation, you're doing basically live action right now. A lot of this next project that you're working on, is it a documentary or is it a feature film?
Feature
Both. Film. Mm-hmm. And so are you pretty much known as a feature film director now, or DOP, or is this something that you're willing to go? Because you mentioned beforehand 3 or 4 different countries that you're going to be traveling through. Is this all feature films or all documentaries?
Yeah, it's all features.
Wow.
Now I mostly work in features, but if I will find some documentary, it's mostly like 2 of those projects agency send me. So maybe if I ask them, like, if I want documentary, they can find documentary.
Right. So is there any other genre that you'd want to try, or with your features, is there a specific genre that you prefer, or you're okay with whatever? Your cat is, hello cat.
For now, I really like to work on horror movie, but like as a person, I a little bit afraid of of horrors. I understand like it's a movie and everything, but it's really easy to scare me. So horrors maybe it's not my favorite. In the future, like future, like 20 years maybe, I want to shoot some film, like maybe about the end of the world or something, like where everything is ruined, like, or maybe it's tornado or earthquake, I don't know, like some how it's called, catastrophic film.
Right. What would take you, like this. Why would you want that one?
I really like to work with I don't know, like for now, I'm really happy every time when I can fly like on a plane or shoot underwater or like stand in a burning house. It feels like, like in childhood, you want to be like astronaut, or in my childhood, I wanted to be a pirate. And now I feel like I'm a pirate actually. Like I do the same stuff, but not like robbing anyone. But I still can have adventures. Like even I live in a 20, which century is now? I mean, like in this century, 21st century, and I still can like have adventures in my life. It's really.
And your treasure chest, your treasure chest is a $3 million camera that if it drops, you have some issues. You'll have to talk to the producer.
It's always like, oh, it's kind of safe. If you broke something, they have all documents and someone will pay them. Everything's fine. Mostly it's safe.
Your job sounds so cool. Would you recommend other people? So if someone, a young woman, young guy, if they asked you like getting into the film industry, either in Kazakhstan or in your European travels or where else, would you recommend this industry to get into? Like, is it something that you could see people go, I want to be in the film industry. It's worth it. You can make a living, etc.
I guess you can choose this way if you're it will be easier for you if you are privileged enough. And if you can
Okay.
live for 5 years without the job, if your parents give you apartment like mine, if you can do this, if you don't have children, if you don't want to have like start super traditional family in maybe 5 or 6 years, you can try if you really want to, because it's really hard and it depends of a country, I guess. But in Kazakhstan, it's like you playing the game in a hard mode. Like
All the
you're a
time.
woman in patriarchal country, and it's kind of um, broke country. It's not. It's don't look broke from abroad, I guess. I sure, but actually, it's not enough. Like money, people. Some people don't have something like for eat. They always should pay rent. They always should pay for school for their children, and like it's not possible if you don't have like support from your family or from someone.
Well, Kazakhstan does have a lot of commodities, and I think they even have like a lot of gold, precious commodities, precious metals, gold and silver. A lot of mining goes on in Kazakhstan. So
Yeah, and we sell all of this abroad.
yeah, it doesn't go stay in the country.
It's like banana republic, but
something like that. Would you, if you could do something differently, what would you have done differently in your sort of career path?
actually now when I already did all this path and I can look back and check what I did, it feels like I knew the script, like I read the script before and I did everything right. But I can't recommend people do the same, because it was many times when it was just situation. It was just luck sometimes, not all the time. Like I was ready for that, like good luck, maybe something happening, and I was prepared. But I mean, it's combination of luck and your passion and your hard work, and I don't know. It's just it feels like I did everything right.
Did you have another option? Like, was there sort of another idea that could have saved you from the 5 6 years of film industry induced poverty, or was this like basically your only choice? If you couldn't do this, then there was really nothing else you could be doing.
Uh, for me, yes, it was, I guess, only one way, because I mentioned I have ADHD and some mental stuff. So it's really hard for me. And actually, I'm kind of autistic. So it's really hard when you have both, like autism and ADHD. It's really hard to work a normal job. Like if you find it boring, you just don't do it. Like never. You can't force yourself. You just, it's kind of you're always addicted for dopamine. Like
Okay.
if your job gives you dopamine, you will be super focused. You will be super professional. But if it's boring, you just became, I don't know, a vegetable, and you just like laying and you don't want to do nothing if there is no dopamine in this. So for me, when I forced myself too much when I was in academy, in fine arts academy, and I forced myself too much with this. Like it was really hard. We should paint like a lot, like every day, like all night. I can sit and paint and like force myself to create and create and create. And after this, I lost my passion in drawing. So
Really?
yeah. So I really don't want to do this mistake again and lose my love to the cinema. And I guess if I will force myself, it became boring again, like with all my like hobbies and all that I did before. And it's just like, okay, I know how my brain works, so I will do it. Like if I need money, sometimes I like in this winter I was packing presents for Christmas, like standing in the mall, or I don't know. Sometimes I can do like job not without using my creativity
Right.
for
Like a
just have
mundane
some
job sort of
money.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't want to lose this
This
spark. I don't
passion.
know.
I
Yes.
hear you. Some people wonder why I do the job. Actually, a lot of people wonder why we do the job. I'm involved in the ESL industry here, and um, how you were describing how you cannot do that job, I look at some of my colleagues and go, "Yeah, that's them." I mean, a lot of us are just sitting there going, "Oh my goodness." The one question that sort of pops into my mind, because you're saying that you can get away from this and you want to get away from it to give your brain a rest. What would like be and since your job is so creative and you could be anywhere in the world at any time, whereas us who work from home, like this is my studio, I work here and everything, my Wednesday is the same as my Thursday, is the same as my Sunday. Like, do you have those days where it's like, it's Wednesday, I have 3 more days until the weekend, 2 more days until the weekend, oh my god, let's just get through this already? Does that happen at all?
Yes, it's a pre-production time when they do storyboarding, and now I'm in this period of my life. I wake up every day in 7 in the morning and go to office, and we're sitting and drawing these storyboards, and I just like, oh, I hate being in office. Like
Really?
first 2 days, I feel like, okay, now I'm office worker, and I go into office like taking coffee and croissant, and just like doing my like office stuff. And 2 days pass, and I just like, okay, it's boring. And like yesterday, we like director, he's just totally same. He can't just sit in one. He should run like everywhere, climb the mountains. And he asked me like, can I please move the table outside? And we were sitting like outside on a street in like buildings, like office buildings, and it's just like small office outside, and we have our coffees and storyboards, and we're sitting and like doing rehearsals, like how camera goes. And that was fun. If we can not stay in office too long.
Wow, because the way that these I don't know if you read American Cinematographer or watch like listen to their podcast. A lot of them are like, wow, yeah. During pre-production, we had all these pictures and these sketches, and it was just a great idea to pre-plan everything. It sounds like it's actually torture for you to to do. Just give me a camera, I'll go get the shot.
No, actually, I can show you. I have my storyboards with me if you're interested.
Sure.
Oh no, where is it? Sorry, I left it in office. I tried.
No worries.
Okay, I mean, for me, it's not so boring. Maybe because I draw storyboards by myself, because I like drawing, and it looks kind of like animation. I don't know. I draw it. They're like characters, and it's still fun.
I think I came across some of your artwork on one website, Adamdar, ADAMDAR.ca, saving
Yeah,
Bazira. And it says that you have
Bajura.
Bajura. That's the illustration credits go to you. And I
Yeah,
mean,
it's me.
was
And I
that
have
a
some more
watercolor?
illustrations. Yeah, watercolor and pen. And I have more illustrations in Vlasky Z and Adam Dar. Sometimes, yeah, when it's like my side job. Sometimes I do illustrations. Sometimes I like packing presents. Sometimes editing.
That's pretty neat. So going forward, what are your film is going to be screened? This is In Flames, going to be screened at the Toronto International Film Festival. That's September 2023.
Yeah.
Is it going to be screened at any other? Where can people see your movies if they're not in Toronto or Cannes?
Yeah, right now it's in other two festivals in other countries, but I didn't check. It just was announced today, and I didn't check the post, but it was into other countries now, and I guess it will be around the world for this whole year, maybe. And after this year, this film now not relate. So now it's big Hollywood company have the rights. I don't know the rights, like have this film. So they will do. It will be in cinemas, like in some countries.
Okay.
So, and maybe on streaming after cinemas. I guess it's maybe 2 years. After 2 years, maybe it will be online.
Do you like this process of where this film is sort of shopped around? It's moved around to the film festivals. So it means like you've made this project. You made it like last year, basically, I guess, or leading up to this year. It gets released this year. It's going around the film festivals, and it doesn't hit movie theaters for us regular people until 3 or 4 years. And then people come back and say, oh, it's a great movie. And you're like, which one? Which one are you talking about? Is this a good method of releasing a film? I don't know.
It's only way to release a film because it's always happening like this. Like when you start project, you understand like you will see the result maybe after 3 years. It's always, and if you director, you're doing like 6 years of pre-production, like for finding budget, like to finalizing the script and everything. So my part, it's easier because I came like when everything is ready. Yeah. Right. And they invite me. So I can just have like come back, have 2 days of rest and do on another feature. I can do this. But directors, they need like for a whole year, I guess, for rest after feature because it's take whole energy from you because you're just putting everything on the screen.
Do you have multiple projects on the go? Like, is this something where you have 5, 6 projects and you're storyboarding this one, pre-production, you're shooting that one, or you're just one production at a time?
I do kind of 3 in a year.
And how long does each one take you?
Kind of 4 months, 3 months, 4 months.
Whole year, basically.
I have vacation maybe for 2 months or 3 months. So
wow,
that's fine. 3 projects in a year, it's like my goal. But now I don't know why like everyone wants to shoot in November and September. Like whole year should be November, and I should have project whole year. But now they both want to shoot in this like 2 months. And that's why now I have 2 productions in one time. One right. Turkish Kazakhstani co-production and another one French Kazakh co-production. So like basically now Olga came like 3 weeks ago. I was in Dubai with Olga.
Right.
We did like all visual presentation about this film. And we watched some movies, some references, like discussing, like doing, checking the colors, like what color palette, what we want, like some angles, some shots. And after this, I can come back and we doing storyboarding for Turkish project. And now Olga came to Almaty, and she checking actors, trying to find like sound guys. Not camera, like all the crew. So I just came from we watched Barbie movie, and
how was it?
It was perfect. It was our second time. We're just in love in this movie. It's so funny. I don't know. It feels like it's inside joke, but it's not so inside because like half of a population of the planet are women. I don't know. It feels like it's something like no one knows, only girls. But girls, it's like, there's so many girls, like.
I haven't seen it either. I think my nieces finally went to go see it. I'm not sure, but I had so much time. I think it's here in China. I don't know. I would. I guess I may as well go and see it while it's in the cinema. But it was a big thing because they have all these like you can go take pictures. Like if you dress up in pink, you go take pictures in the box, the Barbie box or whatever it is. Do they have that in Almaty too?
Yes, we do, but not in that cinema when we were today. But we dress like not this time. First time when we go watch this, we dress up in pink, and it was so cute. We have cute photos with Barbie logos.
Well, isn't that a sign that you have made it? I mean, when young women get dressed up in characters from your movies, that'd be kind of neat. So I have two more kind of different off-topic questions before I let you go, because I know you're busy. In terms, I a lot of people who listen to this podcast are English teachers. What do you? There are some people who are like, oh yeah, my English isn't so good. What was your struggle? What was your success? What was your experience like learning English? Did you have to do it? Were you forced to, or was it like, oh, this is such a beautiful language? Is it?
We basically we have English in school. Like I guess most of the schools in Kazakhstan have English lessons, but I guess I started in school, and after this I tried to have some courses because I wanted to study abroad, and I tried to learn English. But it feels like it's never worked, but actually it maybe worked. But I have this, when you can't speak, you can understand maybe something, you can, but you just struggle with speaking. And when I was in Korea, like it was Asian Film Academy, do you know Busan Film Festival? And they have like education program, Asian Film Academy. So when I go first time abroad and for job, for communications, and I was only one like person in my group who speak Russian, and like I just was forced to speak. And after this I just like, okay, I don't know some rules. I always do sentences in the wrong way, but kind of people can understand me. It's it's not perfect, but it's working, and I already did like international projects, and I'm just like, okay, I can work with this level. But I try to like to learn it more. Like I use Duolingo, or like watch listen podcast, and like some gameplay streams on YouTube in English.
And you've done a whole podcast today. I mean, you've done well today. I mean, I hear this a lot, especially from people, working professionals, and people who have a decent amount to be understood. It gets very difficult after that point to correct anything. Like it's called like fossilized. You have fossilized errors, so the errors are cemented. Mm-hmm. I believe you can change them with enough time, but the issue is that you are working, you're making money. Why would you bother learning anything more? I have the same problem because I'm learning Mandarin Chinese right now. And I go, why am I learning this? It has no bearing on my life at all, except for the fact that I live in China. That's it. I don't need to speak that much.
It's good. It's good reason. I really want to learn language because I want to express myself like more like clearly, because now I feel like sometimes I just can't remember like the word, or I don't know how to say it because because this idea like it's not something like when I am working, I like all equipment have same name like in English or in right. Like everywhere it's
camera
English,
camera.
But but when I try to speak about art or something, it's like all broken.
So if since I do know a lot of English teachers, what advice would you give to an English teacher? Like, please, this is annoying. Could you please fix this? Or like, what are some techniques that actually worked to get you interested and functioning in the language?
For me and for actually my younger brothers, it was game, computer games, and like their communications, because they're playing with like foreign children, and you just communicate because you're interested in understanding like what's happening in a game and what's happening in a crew. So it's same, like if you have some interest, like why should you learn? It'll work. I don't know how teachers can use it.
Play games with their kids, I guess. Is that what the play games with their students?
Maybe, or yeah.
My idea is that the future of the ESL industry is like it's going to be ChatGPT with a 3D face, and that's going to be your teacher, and you are going to talk with an actual person every now and then, and you might even do it mostly through playing video games on your cell phone. That's my idea. But I have no idea if that's going to work. The last thing I was actually going to ask you is like, if people want to visit Kazakhstan, what would you recommend? Is this a place? Because I've been there, and I was telling you about my adventure in your country, in either Astana or Almaty. It's one of them. It's the first stop outside of Kyrgyzstan. I know that it's the first big city outside of Kyrgyzstan. What's it like in Kazakhstan? I mean, I don't know too many people who've actually been there. Give us a feel for the country and its people. What would people do there?
I recommend, if you want to travel here, I recommend to visit in the March.
Okay.
We have now this, maybe you know this Turkish New Year, 22, 23, 24 March, and we have really big nice celebrations here. Like some in the city, it's mostly like festivals looking kind of like this, but when you go to the village, it's really, really, I don't know, it's like super impressive. It's a big step, and I don't know, have you been in step? It's like it feels really different because you can't see where the land is finished. Like it feels like freedom, and on all these hills and steps there are many, many yurts and many people cooking shashlik, maybe, you know, like
It's
kebab
shashlik, yeah. Yep.
stuff, and like plov, and many really tasty stuff. And there's a horse race, you know, like many horses from different villages come and
Right.
they have competition, and you can stay like close to these horses, and you can watch how they're running, and they're kids sitting on these horses, because the person who sits on the horse should be really small and thin. So they're kids, like they're 12 or 14, 15, and they riding horse really fast. It's really, I don't know, it feels like freedom. I really miss this every time when I spend spring not in Kazakhstan. I feel something off, like when you didn't celebrate the New Year, and it's really nice to visit it also in autumn, because in Almaty there are many events, like many. It's really, it gives vibes kind of like Tbilisi or Berlin, maybe. I don't know. It's really big art community every day, like exhibitions. Some like in a Friday or Saturday can go to techno club or just a regular bar, and there's so many stuff happening here. But in in case of weather, it's better autumn. It's like perfect time here, and you can like ski. We have mountains, and you can ski or snowboarding, whatever you prefer. And also here's the deserts and lakes and canyon, like, and it's all like in one small area, like in in Almaty. Not really small, but I mean it's Almaty region.
Okay,
It's close
it's a
to each
rather
other.
large region. Is it easy to get around Kazakhstan? I mean, or do you have to find a cab driver who might not be a cab driver?
It's easy. We have like many. You can just order. taxi, you can order whole driver like for whole day, or you just can rent a car or take a bus. Like there's many, everything is super easy. I don't know.
What about languages? Like, do people have to speak Kazakh or Russian, or can they get by with some English? Only English.
You maybe in Almaty you can survive with English, but hi. Mostly people speak.
What's her name?
Bulka.
Bulka. Okay. Bulchka.
It's made bun, like small bread. So yeah, it's easier if you know Kazakh. Mostly people know Kazakh, and in Almaty, maybe in Astana or in the south part of Kazakhstan, you can speak Russian, and I know okay, but English maybe only in big cities, maybe
only big
Astana and Almaty.
Is Russian very?
It's easier to travel.
Do a lot of people speak Russian in Kazakhstan, or it seems like you're saying not as many as it sort of it seems to be?
It's maybe 30%, but it's mostly in cities, and mostly some part of them are Russians, like not Russians, like how to say, they like live in Kazakhstan, but their roots like from Russia. They speak Russian, and like some people in cities, maybe young people, speak Russian and Kazakh, kind of like this maybe.
How difficult is Kazakh to pick up?
It's can be easy. It's a little bit. It's like English, not so easy. Like
I don't know if it's just like English.
I can't speak again.
Okay.
I mean, it's how you learn English. It's not like how you learn Chinese or Japanese.
Yeah. But Kazakh has its own alphabet. It has those squirrely little alphabets, doesn't it? I can't remember.
For now, it's same with the Russian alphabet. For now.
Oh, the Cyrillic. Oh, okay. So
but in past it was like Arabic, and in past it was Latin. Like it's changed all the time, but now it looks like Russian letters. Same alphabet.
All right. I have several Kazakh teachers, not for Kazakh though, for other languages. So it's seems to be a multilingual place over there. All right. Well, so it seems like it's getting nighttime over in your area. It's 10:30 p.m. here. Yeah. I mean, what time's the sunset that you guys? You literally had 2 hours of sunlight, or what? I guess we're almost in the same.
No, it's 7.
7:30. Okay, I got you. It's a 3-hour time difference. So where can people find you? I have your website here, and you're gonna have to say your name again. Aigul Nurbulatova.com.
Yeah.
.com. So that's where you have your portfolio. Where else can people find you if they want to get in touch with you?
I have Instagram, like one of my more for job. It's Viola Luigi DP. And my personal Viola Luigi.
Okay, we'll have that on the show.
I'm on Facebook with same name, Aigul Nurbulatova.
All right. You also do you use your not WeChat, the other one, WhatsApp or Telegram? Is that one at all?
Yeah, WhatsApp and Telegram. I have both. Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, I have all of that on the show notes for this episode for Aigul Nurbulatova. Try to get that right. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you and learning all about the film industry and what it's like to live the dream. You know, you're living the dream. You're around the world shooting pictures. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for inviting. It was my first time, my first podcast. And it's really interesting experience, even in English. It's so weird, but I like it.
Well, you did very well. And just remember when you're on the cover of American Cinematographer or they're interviewing you for them for their podcast. I mean, hey, this is your first one here, right? Right? Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there you have it. That's episode number 40 with Aigul Nurbulatova. Thank you very much for joining me again. Show notes and tracks will be available up on my website, stevensersky.com. And of course, you can follow on Spotify, YouTube, Google, and all the other places that podcasts are being published these days. Thank you again. I appreciate it. We'll talk again. Have a good one. Bye-bye.